Welcome back to True Colors. So, before we go to the flower shop to inquire about Mag, let's do the side stuff. Let's visit Stephanie in her record store.
Oh, cool! They give you a running animation. How nice.
Yeah, you can run like it's more like a mild jog, but it works. The area is not particularly big anyway.
I guess my point is like, well, I don't think any of the past Life is Strange games let us voluntarily walk or like go faster.
No. But you always had a run button even in the first game. To be fair.
Never mind then.
Keep in mind, what I'm doing right now is side material. I'll bring up this aspect. I'll bring that as some for a point I'm going to make later.
Checking, but like all the side stuff you can do is always put in the notes. Reserve any like hidden side stuff that you can do, but the game just doesn't tell you. Okay.
I platinumed the game, so unless there's some super duper secret stuff, I'm pretty sure I've done everything.
I'm guessing it was a pretty easy platinum.
Yes, well, all of these games are very easy platinums. Just go for the checklist. It's just collectibles. So.
But what you did for me this morning got me thinking. What if Ethan needs something like that too? Something fun and distracting. Something like a LARP.
So yeah, we're going forward with the LARP as a way to try to cheer up Ethan.
But designed just for him.
Yeah, I imagine Ethan might be feeling some heavy survivor's guilt.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so. I need your help, though. I want it to be as good as it can be. Ethan gave you one of his comics, right? So, what do you think? Who would
Skeletor
have the most fun?
Go for Skeletor.
Kravia's Lord of the Underworld and Storm Rider the Undead.
They look similar, but just different enough.
I'll go Storm Rider.
He gets my vote. All right then.
Storm Rider.
I gotta get back in there. There's some
Maybe
stuff in my
Storm
copy.
Rider was
Cool if
copyrighted.
you could check it out. Help me make some calls.
I'll see what I can do.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've explained this before, but in between episodes there was a couple days that passed. So just
like I think we got that seeing as how we had a wake and everything, which I assume they wouldn't just have literally the day right after the boy died.
The spring festival is just around the corner.
Yeah, there's a Storm Rider book.
But yeah, Stephanie has become a radio DJ here in Haven Springs. We'll get back to this. Alright, so here's another side stuff you can do. This guy, the breakup section, yeah, this guy actually has his own thing.
After everything we've been through together.
It's hard to beat breakup music.
No.
But maybe I can find something around here to cheer him up.
Okay.
But yeah, if I recall correctly, I think Stephanie had some hints of like musical interests back in Before the Storm.
Not particularly. It was just D&D.
That's what I'm trying to remember.
I mean, if anything, the other thing she was talking about was, DVDs, specifically where she gave Chloe a Blade Runner DVD, but they didn't mention anything about music specifically.
So let's see. Back in Before the Storm, she was a teen, so I'm guessing now she's an
high
adult.
school. Yeah, it's been a few years. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Actually, do we get any references to the events of previous Life is Strange games?
Yes, specifically the first game in Before the Storm.
But no mention of 2. I wonder why.
Well, that's the thing, but even then, what reason would there even be to reference Life is Strange 2? Life is Strange 2 has literally nothing to do with the other games.
Well, again, it's like and again, I don't blame them, but it really feels like this game was manufactured to be able to ignore 2 in the most concrete way possible.
This game is basically the polar opposite of 2. Whereas 2 is so far has its head so far up its own ass, it's amazing. This game is the opposite. This game is trying super duper hard not to piss anybody off. And be as crowd pleasing as possible. Problem is, if you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody. So it's literally that we need a middle ground between these two extremes.
it does lead me to a bit of a paradox, though. Like, it's no secret that this is probably the most expensive Life is Strange base game. I don't know about any special collections or collector's editions that may make it more expensive, but in regards to like base game stuff, this is the most expensive Life is Strange game, which may be a bit of a tough buy for anybody who's not a Life is Strange fan. The ironic thing is, though, while Life is Strange fans will be the ones most likely to buy this, especially given how it's the 4th installment of the series. Is that Deadpool in the background?
I doubt that they would be able to put that in because of copyrights. So I'm pretty sure it's just.
Yeah, that looks like Deadpool.
Oh wait, never mind. Oh, never mind. It is. You're right. I never noticed that.
Like, either that's a legally distinct Deadpool, or they may want to expect a call from Marvel's lawyers.
Well,
Jesus.
I guess it's because, remember, at the same time that this game was coming out, there was also Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix. So maybe Square Enix has a good relationship with Marvel?
What do you think, Dwebs? That look enough like Deadpool?
No, that's definitely meant to be Deadpool. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
No, it's clearly like I'm guessing it's probably like different enough so that it's legally safe.
No, he's not Deadpool. He's a deceased pond. That's it. Deceased pond.
Sure.
You know, I could actually see a parody name of that. I do wonder if you may be onto something, though. Like, you know, since at the time Square Enix did have the Marvel deals going on, they went, "Hey, Marvel, can we include this little figurine of Deadpool?" And Marvel went,
Anyway, this
sure,
is
fine."
my character sheet, and I just filled it. Basically, Alex is a bard. Her name is Alto, half elf. There's also a backstory that, but I'm just gonna skip it. I'm cooking up
So
another.
you prefer the bard class?
Well, actually, no, you're always the bard. I think so, at least.
Okay, that's Alex's interesting.
I mean, remember, her thing is she plays guitar, so obviously she would be a bard.
Makes sense. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, while Life is Strange fans would be the ones most likely to buy this, they'll also be the ones most likely to feel gypped because, well, yeah, let's see. We go from like maybe $20 or $25 worth of arguably longer games to $60 for a relatively shorter game. And again, to be fair, the content and quality on display are better from what we have seen so far, but that being said, I can understand somebody feeling robbed when, well, there's not nearly as much to there. Just to check, that was a side quest thing we did, right?
Yes.
Ah, weird. So
If you don't go in here, Steph will just decide on her own.
Okay.
What to go with.
Yeah, I was about to ask because the LARPing session feels like something that would definitely be main quest material. Okay, so this just like gives you more.
I get the feeling a lot of this stuff was probably originally meant to be main campaign stuff, but they did something similar to what Sonic Colors did, where they took what was originally meant to be, a complete straight line of events and spread them out and try to spread them out inside stuff, kind of like how Sonic Colors originally had 3 acts per zone, but spread them out sections of said acts into to try to pad the game out a bit.
I will say it does make the game feel like it's struggling to spread itself out in this case.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at least with Sonic Colors, I could go, okay, very mission-based, but still fun. Here, it's like, why isn't this just main quest campaign? Like, and I get it, give a sense of a side quest here and there, since I guess if I recall okay, Life is Strange and Before the Storm definitely had side quest stuff. I guess Life is Strange 2 technically had side material, but I struggle to call it side material since, for the most part, Life is Strange 2's side material was like, oh, do I want to maybe do this thing with Daniel's powers or whatnot? And more or less, I feel like most of it was main stuff.
With Life is Strange 1, you had those side conversations you could have that could help. You could have some minor characters like Dana.
Life is Strange 2 was a much more linear plot in the sense that it
Yeah.
was constantly on the move, so
Yeah, that game could afford to do that because you were always in the same plus, whereas that game couldn't really afford to have side plots because, well, every episode completely changes the status quo.
She loves our
So,
store so
and like you
much.
said, I guess
must
this
be
is another way that this is harkening back to Life is Strange 1.
yeah, and we
before
spend the
story.
entirety of the game in this town. Again, so they go back to the small American town vibe. Again, you can tell this is a very intentional throwback to make older fans go, see, it's like Life is Strange 1. That's the one you grew up with, isn't it?
So all the more power to them, but I will say this. For as much as I just did not care about Life is Strange 2 by the end, I don't think just because Life is Strange 2 did a thing means never do that thing again.
Obviously. But the problem is that at this point in time, the Life is Strange franchise desperately needed a W.
Yeah, and you know, to give them credit, they got it with this game. It may not have been for the best methods, but after, like, okay.
Oh, this is
before
actually
the
one of my
storm was
favorite
a-
side bits. Let's read the thoughts of these two.
Maybe? Could we get dinner first?
Aww.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I usually grab a bite with Katie. You should come.
Oof.
Oh, I meant just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
Might be a good time to check out the dispensary.
Yes, Alex, I know. But I'm trying to listen to this conversation if you don't mind, Alex. So.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying how her thoughts can interrupt when you're
I tell
listening
them I
to
like him.
them.
We'll date, and then we'll break up, and then I'll lose my.
Whoa, you're already... Yeah, you don't know that, honey. Jeez. Let's see what
It's one of those
let's see what he's
paranoid-
thinking.
Man.
Oh,
can't you
he's
take a hint?
angry.
She's not into you. Let it go.
Oh, he's angry at himself.
So both of them are into each other, but they can't... but they don't think they are, basically.
Might be a good time to check out the dispensary. Jed
You
said
just
Charlotte
said
wants
that.
to talk to me. Might be a good time
Yeah,
to check out the dispensary.
she keeps saying... I understand that you want to remind the player of what the main goal is, but that's what the pause menu is for.
Not only that, but what if you legit do want to just explore around and,
like him.
you know, do stuff? Also, I feel it's a missed opportunity that you can't help these people out as
Oh, you
like
can
a
actually.
side mission.
You can actually.
Oh,
You can actually. Basically, later we're going to intervene in their storyline later. Not now, but like we can.
Oh.
Right now, we're just following it, and then we'll intervene when we see a good opportunity.
Park looks
So I'm
fun to
guessing
explore.
all these conversations with people whose emotions we read, they will show up later as, like, side quests
Yeah.
or main missions.
Not all of them, but you can follow their storyline. Like in between each episode, you'll see these NPCs in different places, and you'll see. Okay, so let's see what's up with him now.
Okay, so I go back to what I was going to say then. It feels like the missed opportunity that you can't help
sorry.
all these people at some point, especially as, like, side missions. Like, hey, if you're hurting for side missions,
Hold
We
on.
met briefly.
why not make side
Your
quests
gay
about helping
Jen's
random
sister,
people?
Right?
Alex, yeah.
I didn't know him
Hey.
well, but I could tell he had a big heart. I'm so sorry for your loss.
That felt a little awkward, but thank you. Maybe it was supposed to feel awkward? I don't know. That felt a bit robotic.
Okay, so second thing, Charlotte, aka Gabe's girlfriend, aka Ethan's mother, told us to pass by the dispensary, so let's do so.
Did it turn out that Ethan was, like, you know, born out of wedlock between the two or something?
No, it's her son from her previous relationship.
Okay.
Jed said you wanted to see me? I just wanted to see how you were doing.
Staying busy.
I've been trying to
Yeah.
stay busy mostly.
Yeah. Distractions help.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? I can't even imagine what you're going through.
Honestly, I'm really trying to keep it together for Ethan. He's hurting.
I hear he's been having a rough time.
He practically just lost a father. He's shutting me out. He's never done that before. Not when it mattered.
He just doesn't want to tell her that her boyfriend died in the most
Everyone
cartoonish way
grieves differently.
possible.
He just
I'm sorry, but
It was kind of funny actually, but yeah, so sad.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
it's-
imagine the conversation now. But I need to ask you something.
never shut
How
me
did he
out.
die?
About that.
He died being conked out by a boulder and then dragged down like one of those Wile E.
Get over
Coyote
the feeling
cartoons.
It's really
Boulder?
it's a real shame.
No.
It's a real shame because again, Gabe's death is one of the big pillars that this plot is built upon, and yet the goofy nature of it really hampers the emotional impact of everything could be.
An affidavit
It's
You
like
really have to
in-
be there.
from Typhon.
It'd be like if in The Dark Knight, you know the beginning of the movie with all the with the bank robbery.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if when all the bank robbers started killing each other. Imagine if the gunshots were like really had overly cartoony sound effects.
To be fair, it's Joker. I could kind of see him doing that just to screw
Why
with
would they
them.
be offering
But
you money
that's
if
Joker,
they didn't
though.
do
Like,
anything wrong?
he usually mixes the insane
They
and
say it's an
comedic
offer of
with
good faith.
the serious and deadly.
But you're
Gabe's death was not caused by the
dead
Joker.
because of them.
I legit thought that he was
Might
going
be
to get,
wrong.
like, caught in a blast or explosion or something.
you gonna say
Or, you know...
Oh, no, this is
Shiro, I
actually
thought-
something that's such a one. Basically, Typhon Mining sent her. Okay, how about this? If you don't, like, we can. We were amicably offering you a big sum of money, so that you don't.
Do them.
So that you don't sue them or anything like that. The option you can turn the offer down or take the money that she can use to help with raising Ethan, which is my personal pick that I decided to go for is take the money for Ethan because now that she doesn't have Gabe, she's gonna need help
I think you should take it.
taking care of Ethan. So this is something that let's put Ethan as our priority.
I feel like there's two bits of context missing. One, how much are they actually offering her? As money grubbing as it may sound, if they're like just offering her a paltry sum, that is insulting, and she is in every right to be pissed at them. And two, okay, I feel like we should know, do Typhon Mining have like a history of being scummy money grubbers or like obviously evil businessmen, or are they just a legit company?
Jova, they're a major company in a work of fiction. What do you think?
And it's a Square Enix title too, so let me guess, it turns out they're doing something really bad, and that will make them suspects as to possibly wanting to do Gabe in?
That being said, we never find out what the exact sum is, no.
But we do find out that Typhon
It's apparently, according to Charlotte, it's apparently a lot of money that's very useful. I mean,
These
whatever.
bougie dispensaries are gonna put all
And yeah,
these
we also have weed here that's used for medicinal purposes. And we
So
also
we
have
seriously
another
have-
collectible / memory.
Man,
need.
these things better do the trick. I'm averaging like 3 hours a
Someone
night.
tells me this guy
Pro
isn't
tip?
using it medicinally.
Insomnia doesn't usually come from nowhere, and THC is way better at treating it when you're also tackling the underlying cause. Any idea what's keeping you up?
Okay then.
And I guess that's the end of that.
Oh, look at that, sure. We have marijuana tea. I'm guessing you never had that one.
No, that would be illegal.
Not over here. Not over here.
And not in certain states here, too.
I mean, cats get catnip tea, so they get to have all the fun, I guess.
No, trust me. Trust me, Shiro. You guys are missing out because it's so relaxing once in a while to do that. God damn, it's so good.
So you're telling me that we have an evil corporation in a Life is Strange game, which is normally supposed to be down to earth. Whoa!
Pedro,
Yes, Shiro.
I watch a few streamers who live in like areas where weed is perfectly legal, and everyone's just a vibe.
Oh yeah.
what now?
Just everyone's just a vibe.
I'm sick of people feeling bad for me.
Alright.
I am definitely seeing what you mean, that, you know, the gimmick with the mind and emotion reading is nice, but it doesn't feel like the game does as much as it could with it. Like, again, if you were hurting for side quest material, the material is right there. Allow us to, like, you know, help out all these people with their lives. And yes, I know that that does happen, but, like, it's more so like when the story wants it to, as opposed to being able to do it more frequently.
There is no information about it, but considering the time that this game was under development, I have to wonder if this game kinda was a victim of the pandemic.
That
Possibly.
is a possibility. A lot of games got affected by that.
Because you said it came out in 21, right?
2021, yeah.
Then yeah, it probably did.
Yeah. So maybe they did have plans for more, but maybe they had to be cut. You said that this game was in the works for 5 years, right?
After Life is Strange 2, yes. Dontnod moved on, and Square Enix decided to hand the franchise to Dag9.
Okay, let's see. Life is Strange 2 came out in 2018, right?
Yes. Which means, yeah, about
So
4 years.
So
Thanks, Diane.
So let's see, I give or take a year or so for planning and development, and then when 2020 hits, yeah, that's I would have put a wrench into things.
If I tell him I like him,
Yeah, she just says the same thing over and over.
It's
I guess-
kind of.
Yes, sure, go on.
Go on, Troy.
It's kind of like it would have been interesting because Alex's power is something that's kind of horrifying. Because like you'd think that hearing people's thoughts would be useful, and it probably is to an extent. But you also hear people's inner demons and
I guarantee
you know
he's here.
potential you know terrible things going through people's minds, and it's like, oh, this would actually be horrific.
Not only that,
They probably won't do anything with that.
Unfortunately, Shiroi, the worst you get is someone being angry, like that guy who was screaming earlier. Like, you don't really get that kind of stuff in here now.
Because Alex
Which
is so young too. Like some of the stuff she'd hear would probably be kind of traumatizing.
Keep in mind, Shiroi, if she gets in touch with these people, she tends to synergize with them. So, let's say she got into the head of a not so nice person, let's
That's
just
what
say,
everyone's
and started to think the way that that person did.
Like you're implying, Shiroi, there's a lot of potential for interesting plot elements here, like you said. Thing is, it really seems like this game is trying its hardest to play it safe and not try anything risky. Because they're afraid of pissing people off after what happened with Life is Strange 2.
Like, I'll give the earlier Life is Strange games credit. They were willing to go to some pretty dark source material because, yes, stuff like that can and sadly has happened in life. And that's not to say that we're not getting some dark elements here, but, like, it does seem an especially missed opportunity for us to not go, you know, pretty deep, especially given how our protagonist and her powers work. Like Pedro says, this might be a symptom of them wanting to play it safe to ensure that they get that W. And, okay, to their credit, when we have seen these games try to tackle some serious subject material, they have not exactly done it the best a lot of times.
That's putting it mildly, yeah. So that's basically, Shiroi, that's probably the idea. Their track record, like, they're afraid of screwing up and pissing people off again, so they're trying really hard to be as safe and crowd-pleasing as possible.
So I guess if I am to give them some credit, recognizing when you may not be qualified to handle a certain thing is probably a sign of wisdom. But again, if that was the case, I still just don't get why they didn't give us more side quests with more simple things to help people out if we so choose. Like, it could be just as easy as, oh, we go through a set of choices or whatnot and prompts, and like maybe an NPC gets some dialogue, and bam, there you go, side quest or whatnot.
The other main reason why I'm focusing really so much on the side stuff is because, trust me, if you go straight through just the main story, this game is short as fuck. In fact, if I was going straight through the main story, episode 2 would be over in this part. By the way, like I'm not kidding you. This game is very, very short. Episodes 2 and 4 in particular are incredibly short. Like you can literally finish episode 4 in like half an hour if you know what you're doing. Like like there's a concerning lack of content in what's supposed to be the most expensive Life is Strange game yet.
That is very, very concerning. Like, and okay, I guess to compare it to something again, like, okay, let's go for a similar play style, like Ace Attorney. Heck, even Ace Attorney Investigations, if we want to throw in the whole being able to walk around stuff here and there. Ace Attorney mainly focuses on the main story. You will occasionally get some side stuff that you can maybe pursue, and this is side stuff in like a visual novel sense, so it ain't even that much.
Sorry
Yeah.
about leveling all your mountains. Here's a bench.
Oh, yeah, they are setting up Typhon Mining to be the evil corporation. Good to know. But yeah, no, at least in something like, say, Ace Attorney, the side stuff bits are maybe tiny,
This is cool.
but there are like enough of them
command
that
sort
it
of
does help you feel like there's a world outside of just what you're doing. Again, incredibly minuscule, but at least they're there. Like, okay, to hop over to another genre,
might be our
let's
father's
imagine if
friend.
Mario... well, no, even Mario Odyssey isn't a good example, because at least the main story there feels fleshed out enough that even if you didn't have all the side content, it would probably feel well enough good.
Yes. Well, Mario is not really meant to be story driven anyway, so it's not like it matters that much.
I'm talking mainly about the content aspect, because, you know, with Mario Odyssey, there's a main. There are, you got your main stuff and your side stuff.
Sure.
Although, granted, it's probably not the best example again, so let me think of something else.
How about this? If you want to talk about, I can bring up an example. Ni no Kuni 2, which has a shit ton of side content, as we've demonstrated in our playthrough, right? But you can still follow just the main story, and you'll get a satisfying experience, because the story, obviously, it's recommended you do side stuff. Incredibly recommended, because it further adds more context and impact to the points of the main plot, right? But it's not like it's an absolute requirement to get enjoyment out of the main story. So
yeah, and you know what? I think a good way to describe this is that it does feel like a bare bones RPG that has little to no side quests.
to recap, basically this lady is a bird watcher, and I helped her find the bird that she was looking for, and that's it.
Oh, so she is one of the side quests the game lets you do.
Yeah,
this
you
side
actually do
quest.
get a couple trophies for some of these side thingies.
Okay, so I guess to give the game credit, it does have some, though I'm guessing not
now isn't the
much.
time to check out the rest of Haven.
Okay, Alex. Then when is the time to check out the rest of Haven? Because for the record, we're not going to
Wow.
we're not going to be able to explore all of that Haven anyway. So
Really?
no, it's just this particular street, basically.
I mean, at
Unless this is all
least,
of Haven.
you know, at least with Arcadia Bay, we got to go in what felt... Actually, no, I think we pretty much got most free motion of all Arcadia Bay.
We got to explore all of it, but you couldn't just go anywhere, everywhere, at all times, unlike with this one.
That is true. Here, though, it's weirdly blatant how the game pretty much invisible walls you at a place that you feel you should be able to explore. I feel at least do a better job of hiding the boundaries.
All right, back to the main plot.
Mac had with Gabe over your secret meetings.
Well, technically, no. This is still a side conversation, but it does link to the main plot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the first time Mac lost his shit in front of them, Gabe and Charlotte had tried to get me to end things with him. And after
Instead
all
of
this,
maybe getting him help or
I can see that
seeing
they were
if
right.
maybe he has anger issues, you just I mean, granted, maybe there's some context I'm missing here, but it sounds like that was the first time he freaked out like that, which is still not a good thing, but
No.
as far as I know, he wasn't
not that-
abusing
No,
her.
we already. It's implied that he's had a history of anger stuff. So this is.
I'm pretty sure she even said like again during the
Yeah.
argument that we had with her.
Yeah.
That
Basically.
is a good point. Which does make me wonder, is there like not a therapist people can talk to in this village?
Apparently
This
not.
is a fictional universe, Jova. There are no therapists.
She's
Of course.
taken care of me ever since I was little.
That allows for conflict to take
I never really
place.
knew my mom, but she's always been there for me.
What does she think about you going away to school?
She's thrilled. I think she just wants me to end up happy.
It's a common joke people like to make, Shiro, where if therapy was a common thing in fiction, characters would like character arcs would just end by people going to the therapist and that's it. So
Like, legit, when you get down to it, I think about 90% of the cast of Steven Universe would have their problems sorted
by
if they
going to
go
the
a therapist.
that's the problem, Shiro. Therapists are kind of problematic for you if you're trying to write a story
Storytelling.
because literally every character issue would be solved by just the person going to talk to a therapist, and there you go. There's your story. Like.
It's like we mentioned Family Guy earlier. It's like that one joke. It's like, how would a movie be with a working time machine? There'd be no movie.
There's also something similar to what me and Liz were talking about a couple years ago about Dr. House. And like, well, yes, we could potentially have an episode of a person who just has a cold, but that wouldn't make for a very interesting episode, now would it?
Yeah. Alas, that is the tragedy of characters in a fictional universe.
I need to know more about
I don't know. I'd watch a Godzilla movie where Godzilla has a cold.
Well, that's the thing. That's Godzilla.
That's not really.
Godzilla
That's
in-
completely irrelevant to my
Godzilla-
point, though.
That's the thing, though. Godzilla, in and of himself, showing up in a Doctor House episode would be the fantastical element to give them.
Well, let's picture. How about this? Let's picture an episode of Dr. House that would go like that. Okay, House. This guy has a cold. Okay, just give him cold pills. Okay, fine. Episode over. There you go. See, not accept.
What are we going to do with the other 58 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. See, so obviously the writers pick more interesting rare diseases that are uncommon because that will lead to more interesting cases, obviously.
And also, yes, there was a thing in House where one of the clinic patients' babies had a cold, but again, that was a side plot.
Yeah, that was part of
Not only that, but at
the
least
clinic
it's more
duty
deadly when-
skits. So.
And like, at least it's more dangerous when a baby gets a cold because, not as developed an immune system, so there it's fine.
For less.
You just know if Dr. House had been made more recently, they would have included a COVID plot.
So here, this is another bit, this little room here that you can get into. It's how convenient that somebody left that thing right there so I can break in here.
Should we be breaking in here or is it abandoned?
Let's see. There doesn't seem to be much of anything in here.
And I cannot stress this enough. Paw.
Cowboy.
Well, I guess that's it. Moving on.
Really? Huh.
I swear to you guys, I am trying my best to not have this thing end in 20 minutes. So please bear with me.
It's all right.
I mean,
It's a good thing that I bought this. I bought the deluxe edition digitally for only $35. Because yeah, if I had paid $60 for this,
look, I can respect that the budget clearly is shown, but damn, did you really have to charge $60 for this? Like, was it really that much of a strain?
like I feel like $40 would have been fine. 45 tops. Go on, Shuri.
Honestly, I feel like talking about this kind of thing is just like, for me personally, I tend to stay away from that particular topic because, like, they're not really transparent like the industry itself isn't really transparent about why pricing is the way it is.
Oh yeah.
True.
You know,
And
sometimes it is greed, but sometimes it seems completely random. And honestly, until we have like a breakdown of how and why things are priced the way they are outside of greed, I don't like talking about this kind of thing.
I can actually talk about.
You guys go ahead, but for me, it's like, it's too much. It's too much.
No, I get you. It's one of those things where. Go on.
I think Sakurai put it best in one of his YouTube videos that, yes, there can be a ton of stuff that goes on that we, the consumers, may not be aware about. But at the end of the day, we, the consumers, are the ones still buying this. Like, now granted, to be fair, I would probably sooner place the blame with, like, Square Enix execs deciding the price than the devs, because for all we know, the devs just did what they were told to and made a game. May not have had any decision on the price here.
Got it.
Oh no, the devs obviously have nothing to do with that, obviously. I mean,
that being said,
Deck 9 is separate from Square Enix even. The Deck 9 doesn't even belong to Square Enix, so obviously they would have no say in that to begin with.
What's got you spooked?
She has, Alzheimer's.
She looks terrified.
My paternal grandmother also had it, so I actually know about this. Okay, so the basic gist of it is, she now suddenly forgot what she was doing right now. So let's see. We're back to the main plot, by the way. This is actually the main plot, because remember, Mac works here.
Time to figure out why she's afraid.
So let's figure out why she's afraid. Once again, just go for all the hotspots until you move on. Again, you don't have to think about it. Alex will do the thinking for you. It's fine. It's kind of every one of these bits is just like that. Remember that moment, Jove, in Beyond Two Souls, where we need the 5 souls to send Yizo back to the afterlife, right? Or the Infra World, as the game calls it. And Jodie's like, I need to remember where each of the 5 medicine men stood. And then the game proceeds to have her put the correct pieces in the correct spots. And it's like, okay, see? She said she has to remember it, and she means it. She has to remember it, not the player. So, it's the same thing here. Like, although I will say, at least the game forces me to walk towards the hotspots, so that's still better than that game, at least. But it's not much.
Memory is gone.
Although I will say, to give it a positive, I do like how the game will visually do some thingies. Oh god, sorry about that, Shuri.
Yeah, I looked away a little bit ago because I noticed, like, this is the first time it's gotten, like, that bad as far as the memory stuff.
Yeah.
I will say,
yeah.
I do like how the game does portray mental health issues. Like, in this regard, you know, I get the feeling it was supposed to be a twist that the woman has Alzheimer's, but knowing that she does have Alzheimer's, you know, we see stuff like problems with the memory or her perceiving stuff incredibly differently in that regard.
And as you can see, yeah, she's been hiding it because if people know about it, she'll be forced to close the store.
Like, yeah, I mean, to give this game credit, a lot of, not to say that there aren't other narratives, but it is good to see a narrative that, you know, gives this stuff the care that it needs to. Seeing as though there are a lot of stories that will just go, oh, they cray. And that is how the woman perceives stuff. Yeah, that's
there you go.
pretty freaky. Her walls.
Basically, the more she forgets, the more everything starts. Right now, the game is operating purely on visual symbolism.
It's not just
Which,
that she
to be
forgot.
fair, they are knocking the park out of it. I will give them credit on that.
Sure.
But how can I help her?
Yeah. How can we help?
Well, okay, I can tell you that because fortunately, it's Fortunately, it's not like well, obviously it depends on the person, obviously, but you can help someone like this if you help remind them of things, like you can show a specific object, or it usually helps to remind them of something that they particularly feel very strongly about, like a family member or something like that, right? Like, because even if they don't remember, they still at the moment the mere mention of a name might trigger their memory back. If it's again, it depends on how bad the case is, obviously.
I want to help.
Okay, so let's see. Let's retrace our steps. What did you do?
Okay. What would Eleanor
What would she have done first? So we had now to pick something that would be her first thing. Now, again, goes back to what I keep saying. Obviously, you have to decide so what would be the first thing she did? Thing is, again, even if you get it wrong, it's okay. You can just go pick something else. So again, you can just brute force your way through this. You don't actually have to think about it. Not really. And I get it. It's just that, I kind of wish there was a bit more of an effort being put on my part. It's kind of like the track puzzles, right? Like where I can easily brute force my way through them because the puzzle design is not particularly great.
Like, I think it's like you said, it's not as automated or scripted as Beyond Two Souls, but it just feels like it's on the way to being similar. Like, on the one hand, at least there is player interaction required. On the other hand, I can get how someone might feel a bit annoyed that, like,
Could a phone call have distracted you?
there's, like, no challenge whatsoever.
Oh,
I know some people...
Yes. I got a
There you go. See, this is again, I can actually tell you because I've seen this firsthand as well. Usually, when you remind someone of something that happened, their memory might trigger and they'll suddenly remember things. So
yeah, like, I do get the feeling that, again, unlike, say, Life is Strange 2, it feels like the people did properly do their research.
Could it have been Riley who called?
I think that's right. She called to tell me about a new order. Goodness. What was the order for?
probably flowers, considering this is a flower shop. So let's see.
Unless, God forbid, it was like soil.
You were over here when I came in. Maybe you were counting the drawer.
You don't have to do this. I'll be all right on my own.
Hey,
That doesn't really answer my question, lady.
I get she's trying to deflect, perhaps, because, you know, she has a feeling that Alex knows.
Rush order paid with
I
check.
think that order might have been for these lilies.
Of course. Riley helped me pick them out before she left.
Now we just have to figure out who ordered them.
Look at that. By helping reforge her memory, it becomes less spooky and
The check for the
more
lilies would be in here, right? That could tell us who bought
pristine
them.
and clear
Should.
looking.
Mr. Jedediah Lucan. Huh.
Huh, Jed.
Looks like the lilies are for Jed.
That's right. Riley dropped off an order for Jed.
There you go. We solved the
You
mystery.
figured it out.
Couldn't have done it without you. Seriously, Alex. You're a godsend. Jed must be hosting some event. I wonder why he wants lilies, though.
Oh,
They're traditional.
Yeah,
no.
even if they told her, yeah, she doesn't remember.
Oh, she doesn't
remember. So yeah.
Might want to get her help. Like, I know she might
So
reject
tell her
it,
about
but
Gabe or spare her the pain.
Definitely, I would tell her, probably.
I decided to spare her the pain because even if I did tell her, she probably will forget it eventually again anyway.
A lily and a tulip.
Don't sell him short.
Now, I'm not an
He's more clever
expert.
than
Like,
he
I
seems.
wonder if at certain stages of Alzheimer's, that maybe you could get medication. Like, at the very least, I feel like
It depends on how bad the
Someone who-
specific case is.
I do feel like somebody who
Thanks again
is
for your
qualified should be informed
a
about
stranger.
her unfortunate state.
Yeah, that's the problem. She hasn't told anybody because she's afraid they will force her to close the store.
Didn't want to ruin that.
Like, this is probably her only source of income still, and it's like,
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
probably doesn't want to be put in like a home or something.
yeah.
What do you want? You want to make fun of me too, like those other jock assholes?
What? No. You made a sick killer robot and won a fucking contest. That's...
First of all, we got third place, and anyway, he's not a robot. Technically, he's. Ugh, God, way to take the bait, right?
You know
Huh.
what? Fuck those pricks. You rule. And I would really like to see your robot. If you want to show me.
I'm guessing that's a conversation Riley and Mac were having.
Yes, it seems like it at least. All right.
Oh.
So now we have to search for Mac near the thing, which means we're we're about to finish episode 2.
Wait, really?
Yes. Jova, why do you think
Already?
Jova, why do you think I've been doing so many side stuff this part? We would have been done with episode 2 by now if I didn't.
Eleanor.
Oh my God.
Like, I knew you said that it was quicker, but
See him here.
shoot,
Maybe at the
this
bridge?
quick?
Yes.
this is like 2 parts, right? Like, so far. Oh, cat.
Yeah. No, Shira, here's the thing, Shira. Here's the thing, Shira. If it wasn't for the DLC episode, this would be our shortest Life is Strange run.
Wait. It has a DLC episode?
Yes, that comes with the deluxe edition.
So what is it, like an epilogue, or is
No,
it
it's,
one that's put in the middle of a story?
No, it's a prequel episode starring where you play as Stephanie.
Huh. So it's like its own little mini Before the Storm.
I thought you were going to say Stephanie Meyer for a second.
No, Stephanie Gringrish, aka
Stephanie
this
Meyer
one.
in a Life is Stephanie Meyer in a Life is Strange game. Good God.
That's the main that's the main reason the price tag is such in huge contention from fans of the Shiroi, because this game is very, very thin on content. So,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, like Jesus. Look. If you want to go more streamlined, that's one thing, but really? There wasn't more you could have packed into episode 2?
I don't know what to tell you, Jova.
And, like, not even side stuff, but you couldn't have made the main plot quicker? Because I feel like, again, with Life is Strange games, the main plot, well, it was the main focus, so it had to be, but the main plots at least felt fleshed out enough.
Hmm.
Oh, well. On to the next part, I guess.
See ya, very.
See ya.